All right, the relentless game, turning chaos into power. Today we're going to talk about the gap and the gain. I had a client recently who he and his business partner split up and decided to go. He's kind of caught off guard, and they decided to go different ways. And my client was really at this place where he was kind of caught off guard, and he went into action mode. And anytime if you've had some type of unexpected event happen where you're kind of caught off guard, and I've had there where you kind of just go into action mode and you start to clean up messes and you start to do the things that need to be done so you can move forward. And he was making this progress, and he started like looking for a new office, started doing all these things they needed to do. And I reached out to him and seen how he was, and he let me know that, like, man, I feel depressed. Like, I feel depressed even though I'm like taking action and making tons of progress. He's like, I just don't feel, I feel kind of down and feel kind of out as far as that goes. And so my big thing to him is like, man, let's look and let's turn around and look at how much progress you made. And this is what a lot of guys, especially high producers, is what we do is we look at and we start to look at the top of the mountain, the top of the peak of how far we have to go. And our focus is only on this. This is how I have to get here. And so if you get a lot of stuff done and you continue to get a lot of stuff done, you're moving up. You're moving up to the peak. But the problem is like you're still focused on how far you have to go instead of seeing that progress. And so that's the gap. That's like, okay, this is how far I have to go. That may motivate individuals for a certain point of time, but sooner or later it starts, burns out. The other side of that is turning around and seeing the gain that you made and being able, and this is a skill set to be able to slow things down. It's one big reason why I've gamified my life and everything that I do to have a point system, so I can know that, like, hey, I am winning here. I'm making progress. And you know, something I've been doing on my Instagram stories is just like sharing my core fours.
Yeah.
Like, here's my stretching that I do, body, check mark, done.
Yeah.
And so like it's this gamifying it changed the game for me, because like I've always was that guy that was always pushing, but it felt like I was never making the progress. And then we all have it where you have like your I call it the man period, where it's like that time of the month where you're just kind of tired, you're wore out because you push so hard that you start to wonder, why am I even doing this?
Yep.
Like, what is the point? Why am I even trying? And you get down on yourself. But if we can always just put a focus on where we're winning and seeing the progress, and that's where we can start to make moves from there as far as that.
When you're really feeling that too, that's almost the time that you need to look at that the most. And especially with us, like with what we do, being fitness coaches, is we're always, hey, how can we make our gym better?
Yep.
What can we do programming wise? What can we do nutrition wise? Content. There's all these things that we're just trying to build, but it can easily have us burn out. But then whenever we look back and we're like, man, look at all the people we've impacted. We start to look at our testimonials and we start to talk to clients into the gym, and then just touching those for just a quick second gives us that fuel we need and that launch pad to just keep going and keep going. When you see the progress you've made, it's like, oh man, well, this is why I do it right here.
I think that you nailed that too, is like putting a focus on that. But I think also, you know, one of the things that we do is we send some appreciation text out.
Yep.
So like when you're in that state of, oh, poor me, why am I to even try, things like that, is just reaching out to someone else and with intent, trying to make their day better and share some love and appreciation and things like that, and sharing with them like the impact that they've made on you or whatever it may be. It just what it does, it just opens up a whole new arena full of like, oh, and you start to look around a little bit and like, oh, my life's not as bad as I've been thinking it is. And that's where it's at as far as the gamified stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and it's simple things like that. It doesn't have to be these big tasks that are taken away from you trying to build your business. It's something so small in the morning. Whenever you told me, hey, you know, to build that point system, this is one of the things that we do. You think, oh man, that's so dumb. But then you start to scroll through your contacts and you just reach out. You're like, I don't really want to reach out to this person. But then, you get that pull. You're like, all right, I'm going to reach out to them. And it opens up a door of people you may have impacted in the past, or people you guys did each other wrong in the past. And it all these burdens that you hold on certain things in your life, it just breaks the chains, and it opens up so many doors that might lead to a business opportunity, or to, a guy needing help and you're going to help him out. And so it's just the doors that it opens doing something so small like that is, small doors swing big, or hinges swing big doors. You know what I mean? So
well, I've had a lot of guys I've worked with that they're like, that piece of just the appreciation, like that side of it is like a game changer, because what you said is you start to make others feel good, and you start to invest in them and let them know. And like you said, like I've done it where it's been like Wheel of Fortune kind of a deal, where you like roll it and whoever it lands on my phone book, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to reach out to this person. And I do it from a place of like, I do share what it is that I see in them, where regardless if it has been something that we haven't had an issue in the past or whatever it is, it's like, I'm going to be the bigger person, because like I want to walk in any room, and the room I walk in, individuals be like, they may have something against, but they can also say, well, he's always treating me right. Or 2 or 3 people can be sitting there talking, and the third person be like, I don't know what y'all are like, he's always done me right. And so then it puts a little bit of doubt in there too. Like, oh, maybe it's us that we need to really look at ourselves as far as that stuff. So
at the end of the day, man, we only get one shot at this too. And so we don't get to take our bank account with us. We don't get to take our nice cars, our houses. We don't get to take any of that with us. But one thing that's left is your legacy, the impact that you've left on people. So you see it at funerals all the time. Whenever it's, hey man, he did this, people start sharing all these stories. And so whenever you think about the person that you are right now, kind of look in the mirror and it's like, hey, if I were, God forbid, but if I were to die today, would I like the story that people are going to tell about me? And if not, then there's things we got to act on.
I was like 2014, I think I had a coach, and they mentioned that was, think about your funeral and how many people are going to show up for it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can have
that hits.
Yeah. You can have a funeral where there's like nobody there.
Yeah.
Or you can it could be like a funeral where there's just so many people that's like this guy made an impact on me like in so many different ways, that it's just like so full that there's no room to even sit down as far as that stuff goes. That fires me up when I think about that.
For sure.
It's something I've always thought about. And then you mentioned it, man. Like I had this happen the other day. Was like, we're talking about gamifying and things like that, and having that gap and that gain. And one of the things that we do is like we get in the Bible and we get in the Word and find some wisdom from it. And I was the other day. It was I think it was Romans that we're studying right now in our Bible study stuff, and it hit me like there was this our former general manager that used to be here at the Vitality Mill, and it was like he just stuck right out to me like, you need to reach out to that dude. And having something that you know that you need to take an action on. So like a lot of individuals will do a lot of studying, or they may get in the Bible and then they check the box off and stuff. But when you can get in and you can actually find an actionable step that you're taking on, your mind's the happiest when it's making progress. So we're talking about that progress of the gap and the gain. That for me is like one of those things where it's like uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it, and I still had this little bit in me that was just like, I'm slowly dying off, and but it was still a piece of me that was like, I really never had my say. Like the dude got to say a lot of stuff when he left, and I didn't get to say anything, and so just like, hey, you were here for the seasons you were here. Like, you helped us grow. And that's what I told the dude. Like, you helped us grow the Vitality Mill. You helped us grow the Guerrilla Alliance. Super appreciative of that. At the same time, like, you said a lot of stuff. And I was like, and I know that I left you better than I found you. Yeah. And so, you did things that I didn't agree with. And you from what you said, I did things that you didn't like. And so it is what it is. but I'm just letting you know that I have no ill will towards you, and I'm moving on with it as far as that. And it just one, makes you know that like you did the right thing, and this it gives you more capacities that like, okay, that's like 20 pounds on my back that now I can just like,
That's what I was gonna say, man. Whether you want to admit it or not,
yeah,
that there was some piece in you that was still holding you,
oh yeah,
keeping you from getting to that gain. You know what I
yeah,
meant?
yeah.
And so like for you doing that alone, like boom, huge. That
Well,
just like pushed me forward. I got some stuff off my chest. Hopefully he gets something out of it too. And that can be something that both of you guys squash and then
yeah, but
level
I'm
up from
a
there.
like this is what happens, man. Is like that guy that I'm talking about that was doing he was leaving behind a business that he helped build, and that he was going in separate ways with it, and he was like hurt and things, and he was in the past he had been this certain guy who had helped build the business, and he'd done some stuff that we talked about where he was like drinking. They were drinking because they're business partner. They were like drinking in the middle of the day, having a week because they'd close a big deal or whatever, and just did some stuff. But he had we have two sides of us. We have that light side of us, and we have the dark side of us too. And like that, like a lot of guys, and especially like Christians, like we don't want to talk about the dark thoughts, the dark stuff that we have going on, and we just want to keep a light on the light stuff, like all the good things that are happening. And like that's why I told him too, is like, bro, tap into that dark side of yourself that you had that built all those businesses. And he's like, what? I don't like that guy. That guy, like, I don't want to bring that guy back out because he just messed up so many things. And I had to remind him that like the negative side of that guy, when you're not acting out and you're not being that guy, you slowly start killing that guy off. But there's still an edge to you, and that drives you, that dark side that you need to tap into sometimes to be like, oh, okay, now I gotta go put my gear on and get ready to go back to war as far as that stuff goes. And like, you know, people can say whatever they want to about me, as I try to treat people the right way, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not ever going to shy away from that guy that has helped me, you know, build businesses and do the things I did, but I can use him in a more productive way, and not necessarily in a negative way, where like maybe in the past had been a negative side of him that like, yeah, there's positive, because where there's a positive, there's a negative. Yeah, there could be some positive things about that guy that we need to keep around, but then there's the negative sides of them that you just slowly start not being that guy anymore and start killing that version off. And like with that, it was like, yeah, there was still pieces in me that was like, you know, when somebody says something to you that you don't agree with, that you know how you treat, like there's pieces of me that was like, I'd love to bury that dude, like straight up. Like I'm not going to lie about it. But at the same time, there was also pieces of me that had been like, man, I'm so much bigger than that. Like, and I'm so much bigger than that, and that's not who I am. That's who I used to be. But at the same time, I'm gonna let you know that I'm letting it go and I'm moving on. And like, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna go this way now. And so,
I'd call that more of like a controlled chaos too. It's because that guy's still there. Like you still have parts of that, but you don't lash out and you don't do the things, the dark things that you used to do when you get into those feelings. It's like, hey, I'm in control of that side of me now.
it's a controlled strength.
There you go. That's good.
That's what the Guerrilla Alliance is about. Is like having that, like, because like when I talk about like the people are like, what is a guerrilla? Why a guerrilla? What I mean by that is like, the gorilla like can delicately pick a flower. You know, like he don't care. He's like cool, chilling, like picking a flower. But he can also powerfully crush a skull. And in life, you need both of these. And we'll talk about the guy that's picking flower, but like there's a side of you too that you've got to tap into that every once in a while as well. And so for me, it's like having that control where I'm not going to crush a skull.
Yeah.
But I can get to work and I can do the things that need to be done as far as that stuff goes. And so with that, it's like, it's just accepting and knowing that there's both sides. I think that there's a story of like an old tale of like a grandpa, and the grandson was feeding only, there's like the white wolf and then the black wolf or something, and he was only feeding the white wolf. And then it's like, hey, you need to feed both of these guys. And then he was like, but Grandpa, what are you talking about? He's like, because if you don't feed the black wolf, then he's finally going to get tired of it, and he's going to come over and he's going to devour everything as far as that goes. So you just got to keep him kind of fed a little bit. And that comes out in like workouts and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that's
it doesn't have to be negative.
We talk about gamifying stuff. It was like I had that, I showed you that video of like that CrossFit that competition I did back in 2015. It was like,
something flipped.
It's like, and I realized that like I'm about to lose this thing, and it was just like I tapped in and like, dude, like I remember inside of that those workouts that I had to do there was like sumo deadlift high pull with 95 pounds with the bar, and my mobility and stuff was I wasn't focused on that. It wasn't anything I was ever. In fact, one of the ladies count my reps like, you really need to work on stretch and stuff. Like, yeah, I own a stretching place too. It's kind of crazy, but I was inside of that workout, and I was wanting to sit the bar down, and I remember looking down at the bar, and Colton was about 12, 13 at that time, whatever. And I remember looking down at that bar, and it was just like his voice in my head, like, Dad, you always tell me not to stop or not to quit. And I was like, tap into it as far as that. So I say that to where there's pieces of us that you've got to, we want to grow, we want to get better, we want to improve, but at the same time, we got to, at the same intensity that we want to improve, we've got to turn around and we've got to see the gains that we're making. And that's with the individual you're being as well, because old Seth, I'm just being real with you, old Seth, like if that would have happened to him back in the day, like I've done stuff where it's like I've wiped my butt with checks that I had to send to a coach after he screwed me over. Yeah. Like straight up. Like, am I proud of it? Absolutely not. But like back then, that was the only way I knew how to get back. It's like I'm going to win some way, and so I had to like that guy that has to win. That guy, like, yeah, he's still alive. He still wants to win, but him doing it in a way that's just like having to wipe your butt with the check to send it off. It's like, yeah, I'm not that guy anymore, but it is what it is, man. And I'll own every piece of who I am, because that's who I am is who I am. And that's what has got me this far. And I'm not necessarily going to always be proud of the decisions I made, but always going to embrace the versions of myself that I am and who I am. And if you're not going to do that, then you're not accepting both sides of yourself that way. And so it's growth, man. It's always growth, but we have to be able to put our focus on the growth that we're making, and at just as much as the where we want to go.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's like a pit stop. Like you're driving, you're going hard, you start to run out of fuel. You got to refill that tank, and so that's when you feel like you're running out of fuel. Look at what you've done. Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'm motivated. Let's go. I filled up my tank. Let's just keep
That's going. Honestly, man, why I like to come into here when nobody's around, like, and just like look at like what it is that like because I look back 19 years ago, it was just a 1,100 square foot spot we rented, and then you go through and there's been lawsuits and there's been coaches come and gone, employees come and gone, and you just continue to continue to go and continue to show up and do the work that's required. And it always works out. But I love sitting back when it's just quiet in here and I just look around and be like, damn, look what we've built.
Yeah. Like, I see you put on your stories sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just that gratitude.
And it's like, I'm grateful for like you, especially like you, and that's what you like this is like, I do not want to do this rest of my life. I want to build this up to like everybody can create the life that they love inside of here. At the same time, it's like I have to look back and go like, yeah, but the constant was me. Yeah, like I was like, and that was with my relationship. And God obviously has helped out with that big piece of that too. And He's like has something bigger for us and bigger for me. And it's like went through a lot of stuff to get to this place, but being able just to turn around and look at it and go like, damn, like, yeah, we got to make payroll this next one, and we got to make this, and we got to continue to hit these months, and we got to continue to make sure everybody's got what they need. But at the same time, being able to look back and go like, but man, look at all this that we've been able to do. It's gratifying, and it's also like you said, it's kind of pit stop, kind of fuels you back up and go like, yeah, like you can beat yourself up all day long, but also with the same intensity that you beat yourself up, look at what you've built. Yeah, look at all the good things you've done.
For sure.
because it's easy to get down on yourself.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
I don't care how good of a person you are. It's really
Well, the most
easy to get down on
successful
yourself.
people do that the most.
Yeah.
Like that's just how me and
And
you are
that's why
wired.
but
What
that's
do we
why
got
they're
to do?
doing
That's
it.
why we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why you get to that places. It's like you built different. So
Yeah.
that's ultimately what trying to do with the Grill Alliance is there are individuals that are wired differently, that they need to have individuals that are surrounding them to help them know that they're not crazy, and that you'll have struggles and you'll do things and you'll take actions that in the dark that you look at and it might make me something you're not proud of, and you think that you're in the game alone and nobody else messes up like you have, and like nobody understands the stuff you're going through, and you put yourself on an island. When you get around other individuals that are pushing up that same peak, they may be going a different peak, but they're still pushing as well. What you start to see is like you're not crazy, and that there are others. Then you can start to see a different perspective, and they can start to show you ways that they've overcome their downfalls. And at the same time, you can be able to lean on them, and that's what we always done, and that's what I've tried to do. Is like I'm going to fall, you're going to fall, we're all going to fall. But when we fall, have other individuals around you that can pick you up and carry you across that finish line, because the lone wolf will always go hungry.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was the lone wolf, and I tried to do it all by myself. And then like when you just start to realize that like you can't do it all by yourself, it's freeing and helps you out a lot. So excited to announce a few different things that are going to be happening is soon. Going to have the Relentless Faith Bible experience. It's something we're going to release. For me, it's been a game changer. Getting into the Word every day, finding some type of wisdom from it. I've got 15-day streak going on where I've gotten the Bible every single day and not only just gotten the Bible. Like a lot of people can say that they got the Bible, but getting in the Bible and finding an actionable step to take on that, but also learning lessons and stuff that where you can see in your life that you need to start, stop, or sustain. It's been a game changer for me. Just want to share it with other guys and allow them to. I'm doing it with my 10th graders, dude. Like today, I was so like last night, I turned my phone off late, or not late. I turned it as on the sleep mode. I woke up this morning and at like 9:45, like 4 of the 10th grade boys. We go through the Bible stack at our table on Sundays, and they're talking about like the things that they've already accomplished this week that they've got from the Bible stack and stuff.
That's awesome,
and
man.
I show my wife, and she's like, "That makes you proud, huh?" I'm like, "Man, you don't even understand." So you can get down on yourself on a lot of different things, but when you're doing stuff like that, and you're just seeing like the growth and it just, I had this like in me that says like, "Hey, you need to do this," and it's instead of just going like, "Oh, I can't," there's no way. It's like, I need to do this. So it's like, that's what the Relentless Faith Bible experience, online Bible experience is like, that's why I'm doing it. It's because it's been something that's been on my heart for about 16 months now. And it's slow. I had to slowly build myself up and climb up that peak to be able to get to that place, to be at a place now that we can say like, hey, I'm confident that I can do this. And I'm excited to see what happens next with it. And even more excited about how those young men are going to be impacted. And not even that, the co-leader that is with me he's hitting me up and he's like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know with the task that we took from what I needed to do inside the Bible stack." He said, "I shared the Bible stack with my stepfather, and my stepfather was like, he just is a new believer, and he was super pumped to see that he could get in the Bible and find some actionable steps that he could start to progress and,
That's
and
awesome,
learn from."
man.
So it's like,
that's so cool.
That for me is like, okay, well, you're doing what you're doing, because it's easy to get down on yourself and feel like you're not doing enough or whatever it may be. So that's ultimately what we're wanting to do, is that all of you are called to do something bigger than you can even imagine. When you get around other individuals that are doing that, that will hold you accountable to that will also, that you can speak it and say, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking," and then they can give you different perspectives and point you in the right direction that way. And that's what we're building with the Grill Alliance, and with the online Bible experience that we're going to do with the Relentless Faith is the same thing. So with that, that's something you're interested in, you can shoot me a message on Instagram. It's Seth P. Humphrey. You can hit me there. You can go in my bio and probably find information on that. And then give them your handle and stuff.
Yeah,
as well.
my Instagram is bootrains_6. So BOOTRAINZ_6.
So that's it for today. The Relentless Game, turning chaos into power. Appreciate you listening, and connect, and we'll go from there. Have a great day.
This is a relentless game, turning life's chaos into power. This is a relentless game. I've been out grinding 10,000 hours. This is a relentless game. Always put my faith inside a game.